All right, welcome to episode 92. I believe this is 92 of my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there's a blog which is at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. There's a transcript which is at rss.com. There's video content at spotify.com and audio if you are not a paying customer. Also rumble.com, but it's the same video. The video that I put on the blog it's hosted at Rumble. Okay, so same, but some people just want to go right to Rumble. So that's my FX Buddies. And there's one other thing. I am of course watching my Iraqi TV, but it's really weird. Today they're talking about our movies. So I don't know what's up with that. So there's news maybe they don't want me to see. So and that does typically happen when they're running news they don't want outside of the country to see. They'll run stuff like this. So it's interesting. It is 11:25 at night, August 7th, Wednesday. So this is probably going to post August 8th. But it'll be news for August 7th. And yes, I tried to do this earlier today, but it just didn't work out. So I think I did everything except let me explain YouTube. If you are listening to this on YouTube, because indeed that's all you're doing is listening, there's no video on YouTube. There appears to be a video. So if you want to see the video or the articles like this, the article that I'm going to cover today is another one you may want to go read for yourself. I don't know. I'm just saying. And that you have to look for the word more under the box that appears to be a video. Another box opens, and in there is the link to the video. Now, if you go there and the link is not there, that means I just haven't had a chance to put it there yet, because for some reason they're taking 2 hours to put the video on the YouTube, where it used to just take 20 minutes. So I can't sit here and wait, or I may fall asleep or something, so it may be a minute or two. You might have to come back and look for the link to the blog. All right. I think that's it. Okay, so we're going to get to it. So it was another interesting day of articles. And this is a long article, but I'm going to go through it. But you should go read it. See how long it is. All right. Okay. And it's an article they definitely want people, the citizens, to see, because it's out with a couple of different titles in a couple of different formats. None of them are short, really. There's one where it has just like sentences. They're not even bullet points. They're like just a sentence, but you don't get the full information, right? Okay, so let's get into it. Central bank, we are undergoing a major transformation. And that title is a little, I think they could have had a better title. Even the other two titles that they have for it, in my opinion, don't really convey all of the information that's in this article. So here's the full title. Central bank, we are undergoing a major transformation in organizing foreign trade. See, misleading is the word that I was looking for. It's a little misleading in a bad way, because it's going to talk about more than foreign trade. They keep getting louder and louder. Okay. So, the governor of the central bank, Al-Alaq, said today, Wednesday, that the financial situation in Iraq is proceeding according to what was planned. Really now? And this seems like a horrible plan if that's true, right? And while he confirmed in an interview with the news that financing foreign trade is being carried out smoothly for large and medium-sized companies, he spoke about a new mechanism to regulate transfer operations for small traders and revealed an upcoming meeting in New York to discuss the file of the sanctioned banks and indicated at the same time the official exchange rate covers foreign trade that meets the needs of citizens and confirmed, on the other hand, the existence of a government trend to increase the capital of the real estate bank and the housing fund. So the housing fund is a big deal to them. I don't talk about it because I don't think it's anything to do with the RV, but it's a big deal to them because they need housing. There's still, I think, 500,000 people that are at camps. They're trying their best to bring them home, and some of them don't even want to come home because there is no home. So they're like, I got my little setup over here at this camp. Wait till you have a house for me, then I'll come, right? But yeah. So they have a really big housing need. All right. Financial situation in Iraq. Al-Alaq said in an interview, there are external and local challenges, but in general, the financial situation in Iraq is still proceeding within what is planned in the state's general budget, indicating there is high coordination between the central bank, the prime minister, and the Ministry of Finance in standing on the financial side for its continuity, stability, and sustainability. We are currently working closely and almost daily with the Ministry of Finance, I bet, to implement the financial plan drawn up in the general budget in a way that ensures coverage of its objectives, programs, and existing needs. For the first time, by virtue of the new budget and financial management law, the allocations of governance and ministries are being rotated. So there is broad coverage of the needs of the financial side, and for the first time, the size of the balances available to ministries and governance is large enough to enable them to perform their role. Now that's crazy. Rotating budgets? So here they talk about foreign trade, but I'm going to skip that, but you could read that if you like. And of course, they talk about the auditing and how they're off the anti-money laundering and terrorism financing stuff, still under the laws, right? Still talking about the problem of the small traders. Probably, it doesn't state there. Wait, let me see. We are focusing on the current and upcoming phase to make everyone involved. Yeah. But the small trader issue is what they want a platform specifically for them to deal with Syria and Iran, right? Other international currencies stopped. So he talks about they did open channels for the yuan, the Turkish lira, Indian and Emirati currencies, but then we halted it. A new audit mechanism has been put in place. Yeah, called the U.S. Treasury is now inside the CBI building. No, I don't know. It doesn't say that, but I bet you that's what it is, right? A new audit mechanism has been put in place by an international company, and we have finished organizing this process, and it is now in the process of being launched again. So see, things had started and stopped, and now they have to be launched again. So here, the difference between the market and the official price. Al-Alaq stressed that in light of the new organization of the external transfer process, The real price at which the central bank sells more than $250 million daily. I know there's people out there telling you the auctions aren't on. The auctions are on every Sunday through Thursday, and they're still large. The one yesterday, or possibly even I think it was August 7th, was over $274 million. So they're still having the auctions, and you can check it, cbi.iq, scroll down, and there's a picture of dollars, I think. Click on that, and it gives you the daily bulletin right there. So, I don't know why people are saying that. Okay, so they're sold, that much dollars is sold daily at the official price that should be considered, and meaning that the bank covers foreign trade, and this explains why there's no inflation or rise in prices. That's not true. There is inflation. They're telling them it's 4%, it's probably more, and the people are complaining about the prices. So, just like they misinform us here with inflation, right? They do it everywhere. So, all right, let's see. What else was in here? So there's no inflation or rise in price and other legitimate demands of individuals with all their needs. And the parallel market is a market for those who do not want to go towards the fundamental methods of transfer. And it is illegal trade or trade escaping from fundamental procedures, blah, blah, blah. Now listen to this. Al-Alaq wondered, why would any party go to buy the dollar at a higher price when the official price is available to them, unless they have an illegitimate purpose or something that is not fundamental? Nothing that the view that the dollar price has risen or fallen is not a correct indicator, as one must look at what and how much the central bank sells at the official price to liquidate various needs. So I thought that was funny. He wonders, why would anyone go? I think that's funny. So here they talk about low inflation. Here they talk about cooperation with the U.S. Treasury. Mentioned, and it's to celebrate platforms and stages. So you could read that if you'd like. But somewhere in here, upcoming meeting in New York. Al-Alaq explained that there will be meetings with the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Treasury, which it should just be the U.S. Treasury, but whatever. We live how we live. So the Federal Reserve Bank and the U.S. Treasury Department at the end of August to review all aspects relating to foreign transfer operations, which is dollars, and discuss sanctions on some banks. Jeez Louise. Discuss sanctions on some banks, noting that what appeared in terms of talk, interpretations, and additions to what happened in the previous meeting in Washington was not, in fact, the quarterly meeting. So they're saying they're supposed to be having quarterly meetings. We didn't know that. At least I didn't. I didn't know that. And we did not meet with the Fed, but rather we attended other meetings. And there was a visit on this occasion to the U.S. Assistant Secretary of the Treasury and a normal meeting that discussed general matters, during which blah, blah, blah. Again, talking about foreign transfers and the dollar and selling dollars to travelers. Yeah, stuff like that. Then there's one more paragraph, but that's okay. Lifting restrictions on banks. Let's see, there's like 4 paragraphs for that, 5 even. But look, we're halfway through, And there's still more. There's still, look, I have this paragraph bolded. The Prime Minister holds monthly meetings with the International Consulting Company. So it's either K2 or Ernst & Young, right? Al-Alaq pledged to reach a real stable banking sector, but we know he has not. The central bank did not specify a share for foreign transfers for banks, and they can submit whatever foreign transfer transactions they can attract. And the central bank does not interfere in customers' choices, and the banks that carry out this process rely on their capabilities to attract their customers. And that's not it. Then they still talk about the housing initiative, and then that's it. So here's the reasons they want to interview Al-Alaq. They want to talk about transparency in the currency auction, how to prevent smuggling. Do they know where it's going, who's doing it? Which I bet they do to a certain extent. And then they want to tell him, look, you've reached the retirement age. I think their retirement age is 63. Their retirement age is 63. So they're going to say, you should retire because you are of the official retirement age. If you don't want to step down because you're doing a bad job to some, right? Then step down because you've reached the retirement age. So yeah. So here they had this announcement today. Ramadan announces the implementation of the comprehensive banking system in 37 branches. They're in Najaf, which is Sadar's city. So that's good. So they're moving right along. Being audited, merging, and upgrading to that system. All of that at once. Here, Ms. Sammy, the finance minister, seeks to improve financial performance and enhance spending efficiency. So, if you want to read that, you can. Trade Bank of Iraq invites exchange companies to participate in the dollar selling window. Again, this is the currency. The currency auction. So, let's go back. So remember there were exchange, what were they called? Well, they're exchangers, but they just exchange on the street. They're not an official company, right? So there's a representative, and Sadani called in the representative of those companies because they were going to hold a massive strike. Remember that? And whatever Sadani promised them, they decided not to have that big rally, right? So this is part of that. Because remember the next day they posted on the CBI channel, hey, get together and make yourself an exchange company of category A or B, and then you can go to the auctions and buy some dollars too. So that came out. Here, a government bank manager replaces Al-Alaq. Will the new option be controversial? Of course, everything's controversial over there, right? Especially if they're going to be for ending everything and moving forward with the new rate. They'll be controversial to the people who don't want to do that, right? The people who are still making money off of all the different places they're making money. So they're going to choose, and I should correct myself. At a place earlier, I said they were going to take someone from the CBI's, one of, understudies. That's not the right word. But it says the expected replacement of the governor of the CBI, Al-Alaq, will be the director of a government bank. So I thought it was the director of the CBI, but no. So they don't know, but then they list the qualities that the person should have. And it doesn't say when they're going to do this either. It says these developments come at a critical time when Iraq is facing significant economic challenges, including controlling exchange rates and strengthening confidence in the banking system. The selection of a new governor for the central bank is a crucial step in addressing these challenges and ensuring the stability of the national economy. I don't know why I think they're singing prayers. But it's not Thursday into Friday, right? It's Wednesday into Thursday. At least he doesn't sound so creepy. Forgive me. I'll turn that down more. Alright. So, we don't know when they're going to replace them, but they are. Expanding the circle of demands to dismiss the governor of the central bank. So here's another person, the Fatah Alliance, right? Saying you need to go. So that this could be older, maybe a few days old, but they just put it out today. Here's something I have in blue or purple. I think it's blue, but whatever. Improve the Iraqi economic reality. Well, here, Prime Minister Sadani, the wisdom to find a real mechanism to support the Iraqi economy, stabilize the dollar, and improve the Iraqi economic reality in terms of investment and attracting countries, whether Arab or European, for the purpose of investment, which helps Iraq's renaissance and economic stability. So remember, we were hearing them say they were going to have a renaissance. There was something about work. There was some phrase they were using about work to describe their up and coming economy. So here we are, we're seeing that phrase again. So it looks like we are going to have forward movement. And then here they talk about, I've read this a few times and I don't understand this. So that's why I have this in blue, not just bolded. If you can read this and understand what it's saying, by all means, leave a comment. So it says he pointed out, and I forget who's talking. It's not Sadani. It's the guy for the Al-Fatah. Oh, Lord. That's a car. That's a car that loud. Fatlawi. Ali Fatlawi. That's his name. That's the guy who's talking. He points out, although inflation in Iraq is not at the level of other countries, such as Lebanon, Syria, and Iran, which are subject to American influence, as the exchange rate in Iraq was in 2020 at around 1,200, but see, it's 120. It says 120. And then rose to 145. It's like they're leaving off a zero. And is still between 145 and 150. So this should be 1,200 dinars to $1, 1,450 dinars to $1, 1,500 dinars to $1. But I don't understand that. So I'm just saying that's there. So here, a member of Parliamentary Integrity Committee, Al-Salami, previously explained that there had been a request to end the assignment of the governor of the CBI of Iraq 6 months ago, and the term had expired, because remember, he was only supposed to be there for 90 days. So this isn't the first time they've asked for his removal. They're just getting louder now. For 3 reasons, changing the relationship is not enough to improve the performance of the central bank. And there's this guy, Hashimi, and he just has, there's a short article. And again, he's saying just changing the CBI governor doesn't really change anything. You know, you need to get rid of the corrupt people, you know, and stuff like that. That's my phone. All right. Here, you might want to read that. That's talking about their non-oil revenues. Parliamentary Oil and Gas Committee reveals reason for a continued halt in regional oil exports. So if you'd like to read that, you can read that. So here, U.S. officials invite us to celebrate the achievements of the dollar platform. So that is Al-Alaq. But is he still going to be around in the end of August when they go to this meeting? So we still haven't heard Sadani or the House Speaker accepting the the resignation of Al-Alaq. Still waiting for that. Okay, so yeah. So if you want to read that, and then I have some bolded parts here. But here he explained that our plan until the end of the year is to reach 100% with foreign transfers between Iraqi banks and correspondent banks without going through the Federal Reserve. So they want autonomy, right? Not just total autonomy. They want financial autonomy. And until we let go of that, they're not going to get it. So here, Al-Alaq downplays dollar prices, not a valid indicator, but watch inflation. Citizens' needs at the official price. So if you want to read this is two different articles. Let's see. It has a little bit of that longer article, the first one that I read, but a little more detail, specific detail. I can't describe it. But here, yeah, they talk about internal transfers, external transfers. So yeah, till the end of the year, they have a plan through the end of the year. And then this, what was that? Oh, on social media, they took some of the bullet points, and it does say that Al-Alaq says, I'm not going to change the dollar rate right now. So, but you know, like I always say, we can't do anything about that. So here's that paragraph again. Al-Alaq wondered, why would any party go to buy the dollar at a higher price? So, yeah. All right, we're almost done. We're at the military part. So if you didn't know, what's his name? Macron, the French president, he spoke with the new president of Iran, I believe, to talk about calming things down. And so here we are, well past the 24, 48, and 72-hour windows, and still all is quiet, right? Yeah, so maybe these talks, so apparently, obviously, there's talks going on behind the scene. Remember, Anthony Blinken reached out to Sadani for help, and for some reason, Macron is the go-between between France and Iran, and they've talked. So maybe that's what's holding it off. I still think Iran is probably having way more fun putting the world on pause while they wait to see what they're going to do. But that's me, right? Anyway, and then here's an article about the Assad base and they're flying Chinook helicopters again, and they went home. They went home on vacation today. Those oh shoot, it's frozen. The hurt Not the really hurt soldiers, just the mildly damaged. Isn't that crazy? Mildly injured. They're back to work already. And they did arrest someone. Now, is it really the right person or just some people they could grab and arrest to appease people so they won't uprise or us, right? So, yeah. So, as usual, the military articles are at the very bottom of the blog. If you care to give them a gander, one of them's really long. And I did read this, and it wasn't totally boring, but it gives an insight to the soldiers and how they live and stuff. All right, so we're at 30 minutes. So thank you. So I think probably tomorrow, well, Thursday the 8th, that's right. August 8th. There'll probably be more information that's worthy of posting in my opinion. So yeah, hang in there. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. So wherever you're listening, wherever you're enjoying this content, if there's a join, follow, subscribe button, click that, tap that, swipe that, whatever action it takes to activate it. And that way, when I do update, you'll be notified and you can watch it if you like. And again, I say thank you for listening. Thank you for your encouraging comments on the YouTube, right? And YouTube, I'll just throw in there the Fair Use Disclaimer Act. Anything I use, cover, discuss is all under the Fair Use Disclaimer Act because it's just for critique, criticism, sharing, and commenting. All right, now we're done. So again, thanks for listening. Thanks for the protective comments some of you have left. I appreciate that also. All right, so enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you're enjoying this content. And until next time.